Hey everyone, it's Summer with AstariaSen, and it is week 10. Can you believe it? Of the weekly creative tarot readings. This coming week, I'm not sure what it's going to bring us. It's week 10, and 10 seems to be a big number for me this week, or last week. I'm not really sure. Anyways, so in case you are just joining me, I do weekly readings usually on Sundays. This one's coming to you on a Monday because yesterday was my birthday. I just turned 38, believe it or not. 38 and a grandbaby on the way in April. I'm pretty excited about it. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about creativity from last week. That's what I like to do now. It was suggested by a commenter to show the artwork that I do from the previous week, so I will be doing that as well. Anyways, if you're just joining me, I do these every week, usually on Sundays, and it's a 2-card poll. And I talk about how you can use those cards in any kind of creative art that you do, any creative way that you want to do it. It doesn't matter if it's cooking, if it's drawing, if it's sculpting, if it's gardening, if it's writing. It doesn't matter what your art form is or what your creative hobby is. You can apply the tarot to it if you want to. Anyways, I will talk about how you can do that and try to keep these as short and simple as possible. So week 10, what I made last week. Last week we talked about browns and horns and purples and blues, and we talked about like circles, like there was a globe in one of them, like a circle, yellow circle globe, and we talked about accomplishing our goals. So one of my goals was to complete 10 pieces, which I did. I have 10 little dragons sitting in front of me, but I'm not going to show you all of them. They are for a sale tonight in my group, and I will leave a link in the description to that if you want to go over to it. The sale is only for this evening, so if you're seeing this at a later date, sorry, the sale's probably already over. Anyway, so what I did do is I applied all of this to my dragons for the sale tonight. So we have purples and circles. Look at that. I like the little indented circles. They turned out really well. She's super cute. I have two different styles of like brown golds that I worked with. And the horns are different styles too. Like you can see the different style of horns that I played with. Here's the other brown. And he's got little big fat horns. He looks a little more like the foxy creature that we saw on the cards. Here's another horn style that I tried out. And then we talked about blues as well. So I have a blue one. And then this horn is more like twisted at the top than the other ones that I tried out, because I kind of like that one. So anyways, that's what I did for my creativity last week. Let's find out what we're doing this week. I'm really excited because I've got a lot of stuff that I want to try, a lot of stuff that I want to do. I also told you guys that I would be changing decks this month. So the new deck that we will be working with is going to be the Joie de Vivre by Paulina Cassidy. I find it's one of the decks I wanted to reconnect with, so I'm going to start by using it in creative art. My creative readings, these weekly readings. And I think that Paulina's artwork has a lot of creativity in it and a lot of energy that we can use to pull into our own creativity, our own hobbies, all those, just this kind of, it's a really imaginative energy is what it is. It's very, very imaginative. So that's what I wanted to use the Paulina one for. And or the Joie de Vivre. I have the Paulina one too. And I hadn't decided if I wanted to use Paulina or Joie de Vivre, but I decided on just the Joie de Vivre. And I will, I might use the Paulina in a different one. But for now, we're just going to work with this one for a while, see what comes up for us, see how it works for us. I do believe that any deck we want to use, we can apply to our creative art in some way, shape, or form. So later on, I may even try, as I get better and better and better at tarot, I may even try to apply the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith style to it and see how that works out for me too. All right, so we are talking about what we want to put into our art, what the universe wants us to put into our art this coming week. What is it telling us? What does it want to show us? What should we work on? So let's pull 2 cards. Short and simple. I'm going to spread it out in front of me. And I'm going to just pick 2 random cards that I can pull out of this easily. All right, first card has been pulled. And the next card, let's see, that one doesn't really want to come out, so I guess we'll go with this one. All right. 2 cards have been pulled. I don't want to do any more than 2 cards because that makes this really long, and it's already, these kind of readings can kind of get really long if they want to. All right, so the first one is, we got 2 of Wands, another wand, and then we got the Knight of Wands. Look at that. Something is telling us with wands these last couple of weeks, aren't they? Okay, let's take a look. First up, sorry, I gotta move some dragons out of my way so I can get closer to this camera here. I got 10 little dragons just having a heyday right in front of me here. All right. Okay, let's see, what do we got? 2 of Wands. 2s are generally about dualities. Oh, look at the colorings in this. We have some yellows, we have oranges, we have purples. Purple seems to be a really big hit in a lot of these creative decks, doesn't it? And she's got a little like flying ball. Let's see if I can zoom in here. There we go. We got this little flying ball here. We've got an owl type creature up here. We have flowers, we have a sun, we have a moon. We have an octopus in her dress. Look at that. We got some, definitely octopus energy, watery energy, sea energy, I guess. And I do believe that is like, well, I think that's a wave that's coming up out of the side right there. That's pretty interesting. Well, we got some frills going on. You can see on her face, she's pretty happy. The wind's blowing her hair. We got some oranges. Yeah, we got a lot going on in this card. So definitely keep in mind that 2 is about duality, that balance, reflection, those kind of things. And we'll get more into the creative aspect in just a moment. All right, and so let's talk about the Knight of Wands. Right here, let's see, zoom in on him. Let me see, there we go. There we go, look at him. Oh, looks like he is carrying this fiery little torch. He's definitely going somewhere, isn't he? Oh, look at these. What are those? That also almost look like firecrackers on top of his head, like the fireworks that come up out of the ground. But you know, you have these triangles, these dome shapes. You've got the yellow in his eyes. That's almost like a snake-like eye. This is more like a reptilian style creature. So reptiles can be a big thing. Ooh, look at that checkered or diamond pattern sitting there. We got a polka dotted pattern. We got a bow. We've got a striped pattern. We've got tails in this one. Ooh, hearts, lots of hearts. We got a mountain back here. We got some swirls going on. Lots of different stuff going on in this Knight card for sure, for sure. And Knights, you know, they are about like a charging, like an energy, like a forward motion energy. So I really think that that's still telling us we need to get after it. We need to get into our creative side, and we need to work it out, and we need to make it happen, and we can accomplish these goals. So I really think we should work in that. Now, one of the things that we talk about with creative energy is that spark. There needs to be a spark there for you to want to create something. So what I try to do in the cards is just give you that spark. That's what I want for you, is I want you to have that spark. So wands are a lot of motion. They're a lot of action. They're a lot of spiritual, you know, your spirit type energy. That's where wand is based. And so consider that, you know, it's going to be a lot of thought process. It might not be, oh, I see this and then I'm inspired. It may be something that you think about and then you're inspired. So let's talk about how to apply these cards to our art. All right. You can make octopuses in anything that you want, or just octopus legs if you wanted. Owls. Owls are a big thing. So feathers, the owl itself can be a part of a piece. If you're writing, you can have an owl come into the scene that you're writing or the poem that you're writing. If you are crocheting, you can add feathers, you can add owls, you can add a sun, you can add a moon. If you do scrapbooking, you can add an owl to scrapbooking, or the sun and the moon, or an octopus, or the hearts, or the purples, any kind of thing like that. Those colors can really make a big difference and help you feel that sense of accomplishment. Like, oh, well, the cards gave me the spark to use, you know, this kind of yellow, so I'm going to try it out and see what happens. So go for it. Just go for it, okay? And since it's duality, maybe you need to do like a mirror image of something. I mean, that can totally work out. If you're a sculptor, if you're a design artist of some kind, mirroring an image can really help you. Even if you are a cover designer for books, or you create digital art of any kind, that mirroring effect can give you some really neat things. All right, and so let's talk about this Knight. This Knight is a funny little card. He is funny. I really think that energy is like, go out, go for it, go do it. You can do this week. And I think, you know, He's carrying that torch, right? He's carrying that torch of inspiration. Let's go. I really like that. I think that's this is a perfect card. I love this card. So we can add stripes. Look at that blue and that white. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the circus. Could you imagine putting some kind of circus element into your piece? And the checkers. Oh yeah, those little checkers and the diamonds sitting right in there. I think I like that too. And I like the little, this top up here. It kind of reminds me of like the tops of fairy houses and gnome houses and stuff like that. I might do some fairy houses this coming week. We'll see what comes out. All right, so that's how we can apply it to our artwork. We can apply it to gardening too. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could take vines. If you wanted to plant vines this year, or if you have a garden that you're thinking about doing, you can start designing your garden based off swirls. Like what kind of plants have that crawly, swirly thing? Roses can do it. Some vine types can do it. They crawl up trellises and stuff like that. Snap peas. I love snap peas because they have an actual swirl design. Like when they come out, they literally start swirling before they make the peas. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty plant. I'm not a big peas fan, but it is a pretty, pretty plant. So yeah, there's just so much you can do with this. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments and I will do my best to answer you. And I hope you guys have a truly, truly inspiring week. Thank you for watching.